Okay, we're recording. Ooh, no, I'm still out of breath. Let's try this again. You know what? No, I need more coffee before I start this. Okay, we are back. Come on then. Come on. Go on up. No, what? Did you want coffee? No. No! I guess I can't put it on that table. Oh! Okay. We got this. Podcasting. Hi everyone, and welcome to the I don't know what episode of the Caught in the Wool podcast. I am SamBee. It has been over a year since I have done an official podcast. I did do a Vlogmas for 2019, so like last month. I did a little bit of a Vlogmas, and I still need to get up the last bit of Vlogmas, but I have been putting that off a little bit. Sorry, I'm fixing my hair because I'm warm from running all over the place, and I feel like my hair is also weird. Sorry, okay. I'm feeling like a little self-conscious. So, it's been over a year. Some of you are new. Some of you have been around since the beginning of Caught in the Wool. Caught in the Wool isn't a super old podcast, and I haven't done a million episodes, but yeah, thank you for being here, for joining me. If you have been following us, you know that we moved last summer to a new farm, which is awesome, and I want to thank you all again, because everyone who has bought yarn from us and supported us at all, even if you just follow us on Instagram and like our photos, that gets our name out there, and that is hugely important for us as a business. And my insulin pump is in weird positions. Sorry. Yes, I want to thank you all for just being here, for being our friends. This isn't a tour video. I will do that eventually, probably in spring or summer. Probably spring when it's nicer out. Things just tend to be muddy and gross. In the winter, it actually hasn't been a super bad winter, and everything is pretty nice on our new farm. Our new farm is, it's a very nice farm, and I am excited to show you guys like an official tour of everything once we're finished moving in, because a lot of stuff is still like we still have boxes of stuff in our kitchen, like our china. We haven't fully moved that into the china cabinet and what have you. But right now I am videoing from our knitting nook. So our knitting nook is just like a room that, well, maybe I should start from the beginning. This is an old farmhouse, so it was built in the early 1900s. So it had what I assume this must have been a very large porch at one point. And when they remodeled, they turned this into a room. Then right next to it is a full bathroom, and then the laundry room, and then we have the breakfast nook. And so that's nice because we have a little bit more floor space. And this little room is just off of the entranceway, the hallway, and the living room, which I have filmed from for Vlogmas. And it's just a nice like little room. We still have our Christmas decorations up. We're going to be getting those down this weekend because we celebrate Christmas all the way up to Epiphany, which is, if you are Catholic or Lutheran, I don't know if other Protestant Christian religions or whatever Christian denominations celebrate Epiphany, but Epiphany is the day you celebrate when the wise men come and bring their gifts to Jesus. And just a like little tidbit, I went to private Lutheran schools and for like 14 years of my life, so I know way too much about this, but you know, it's just a thing. It was a great education. I wouldn't say I'm Lutheran anymore, but I was raised Lutheran, and yeah, some of their traditions are kind of cool, but anyways, the wise men came about like 2 years after Jesus was actually born, and they came and visited him in Egypt where they were living at the time. So they didn't actually come like the night he was born or anything, so that's cool. Anyways, I might just cut that out because I'm not going to cut that out. I'm probably not going to cut this video very much except for the very beginning. Just because I'm lazy. Anyways, I have a lot to talk to you guys about. I don't want to talk too much about, sorry, somebody just walked in, so I kept looking over to see who it is, because I am right off the entranceway, so I told all the other bees they either have to be in the dye studio or they have to be in here, and to stop walking back and forth. I'm just teasing you, baby.
I know.
But,
I'm gonna take a shower.
Oh, okay. So she's gonna take a shower, and since I'm right next to the bathroom, maybe we will hear background water noises. I don't know. I don't know. But no, it's very exciting to have a knitting nook. I also apologize if this video is a little washed out. I should have filmed a little earlier in the day, but oh god, I do look awfully white. I will just try to edit that in the video editing. So hopefully I don't look like a ghost to you guys. But if I do, it's winter and I'm a white person. So that's just, it's the peasant blood, the European peasant blood. Man, I am just off today. So, oh yeah, I wanted to tell you, if you've been following this journey for a while, I have been having an identity crisis about which Hogwarts house I belong in. For the longest time, every time I take any quiz, I get a different result. And it's not like I'm trying to answer them weirdly, I'm trying to be honest, okay? And I always get weird results. Most recently, I took a new version of the test that takes into account all of the... I've done this before and scored it myself, but that was a while ago. But they came up with a new version where they take all the questions from Pottermore, like sorting quiz, and then they have you answer all of them, or you can skip certain ones if you're like, I really don't have an answer for this. And they do a percentage of everything. And I'm pretty much like, I think the last time I took it, my strongest ones were Gryffindor and Hufflepuff, and I was like right between them. I'm almost always a little Hufflepuff. I don't know, it's weird. I used to think I was more Slytherin, but then I had a long, hard look at common rooms, and I was like, I cannot live in the Slytherin common room. I cannot stand being underground, and I cannot stand having water near where I sleep. So that's just not going to work out. I would be miserable for 7 years of my life if I went to Hogwarts. SamBee jokingly said I'm just a muggle. Maybe I am. I most certainly am a muggle. But in my heart, I'm not a muggle, so the bumblebees decided to sort me, and this all came back, and like for a while I was just fine with like not being sorted, and then I started listening to the Harry Potter books on audiobook, and I loved those books. They were so good when I like read them through a long time ago. I don't know if I've ever done a full read through like a second time. I've read some of the books more than once, but I haven't done like the full thing. But while I was doing Advents for 2019, because I wind all of our minis into 40-yard, 10-gram minis from the full skein. So when you knit them up, you get like a actual sample of what the full skein will knit like, instead of doing like a 1.5 yard mini that's already been wound and dyed, it like some people do. So anyways, that takes a very long time. And while I was doing that, I got into like, I think I got to almost the 4th book. I was listening to other books as well, I should say, as a disclaimer. But I got into the 4th book eventually, and I just like want it to be sorted. I want to feel like I belong at Hogwarts too. So the bees unanimously voted that I would be in Gryffindor. They all decided it. They just said, okay, this is where you belong. And you know what? I still feel a little weird about it, but you know what? I think I really identify with Harry, where he's like, I don't know really where I belong. Am I truly a Gryffindor? But all of my favorite characters are Gryffindors, and the ones that I relate to the most, which are Hagrid and McGonagall and, I don't know, a little bit of Dumbledore and Harry. And all the bees say I'm basically Hermione because I'm a know-it-all. So, yeah. That's that. I'm sorry that this is like kind of all over the place, where I don't have like a set. I'm not one of those podcasts where I'm like, okay, in the beginning we're going to talk about this and then we're going to talk about that. But I guess I will tell you now. So in this podcast, we are going to be talking about whips, FOs, let me not get my hair in my face, and new yarns that are coming into the shop this weekend, because I'm super excited to show those. And also we are going to be talking about some of the geeky, nerdy stuff, like books. So let's talk about that first. So if you want to skip that, you can kind of like jump around because we're already talking about it. Harry Potter. Okay. So, a little bit about Harry Potter. If you have been active on Twitter, you're following activist-y kind of things going on, you will know that J.K. Rowling recently said something that a lot of people are saying is transphobic. I do not know the issue very deeply. Like, she said she sided with someone who had done something that was pretty anti trans people. I don't know that whole situation. Some people are saying that this woman was defending, you know, people who are truly trans or their rights, or saying some people are faking being trans, and I don't know anything about that. I honestly don't want to get too involved in the nitty-gritty of it, just because it's upsetting to me, and I don't also want to justify, I just don't want to justify transphobia in any way. Like, even if people are saying it wasn't transphobic in any way, I don't want to be the judge of that. All I know is that a lot of my friends who are trans have felt upset by what was said by J.K. Rowling and the whole situation, and they are feeling like Hogwarts, a place that they have taken like refuge in for so many years of their life, has been kind of spoiled for them. So that's what's most important to me, is that this group of people who have been struggling so much in their lives, in the history of trans rights, it's been just, I mean, they're one of the most suffering groups, without question. So I don't want to take another thing away from them. I don't want to also openly say I'm not a Harry Potter fan, because I am a Harry Potter fan, and I honestly don't think that what Harry Potter series kind of teaches us is transphobic in any way. I think it's a very inclusive message. And so us bees have decided that for our Hogwarts Order of Magical Makers clubs, we do a monthly surprise yarn and fiber club every month, except for some months when we know we're going to be too busy, and then we just skip that month. Last year I think we did 2, but that's because we were moving. This year I think we're going to try not to skip any. But for every purchase of a yarn or fiber club, of the Hogwarts Order of Magical Makers, we're going to donate $3 to a trans charity. We haven't picked it yet, We're going to do the donations at the end of the year, so we can just do one big mass donation. But as of right now, we haven't chosen the charity. We're still talking about what kind of charity we want to donate to. I know some other makers, yarn dyers and what have you, have also said they're donating and have done like campaigns for one. I know in particular is doing a suicide hotline that's for trans people specifically. And although I think that's great, I would like to donate to possibly a group that's working on securing trans rights and working more in the government and health services spheres of getting them their rights instead of doing suicide prevention. I would like to like do a step above and hopefully get them rights so that they don't feel the need to commit suicide or even be in that sphere of thought. So anyways, I wanted to just mention that we will be announcing a charity soon and putting that in the description of our clubs online as soon as we choose one. I always feel the need to not rush those kinds of things because I want to make sure that the money is actually being used for what they say they're using it for. But anyways, yeah, us bumblebees are very pro peace, love, and happiness, and we just want everybody to feel loved and happy and not feel like Hogwarts is taken from them. So that's like a small way that we feel like we can make Hogwarts more inclusive through what we're doing and not just ignoring the issue but making it better for everyone, basically. And now after that little talk, I want to talk about, oh, and yeah, my Gryffindor mug. I wanted to talk about some series that we have been watching. If you know the Bumblebees, you know that we are very nerdy. Almost all of our yarns and patterns and everything are somewhat inspired by a lot of times fandoms, Harry Potter being one of them, Lord of the Rings being another. That is because we just have always been huge fans of those things, even before we became avid knitters and done the whole fiber business and everything. So it just kind of seeped into the fiber business and then took over. But hold on, I need a sip of coffee. But and I'm wearing lipstick, which is like the worst. But for drinking coffee, it's like one of my pet peeves. So I normally never wear lipstick because I just hate that it gets everywhere. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. That is something about me that you should just know, is that I'm a very scatterbrained individual. It's just in life. But anyways, so these series that we have been watching, Killing Eve. Okay, so that's a Hulu original. Killing Eve season 2 just came out. We binged that hard. One of the issues with being a bumblebee is that we are all together all of the time, but when one of us leaves and we started a series, we all cannot watch it until that person comes back. So we binged that. That was, oh, that show is so good. It is about an assassin and a woman who, and MI6, she works for MI6, who is trying to find out more about this assassin, who she works for, and it's just, I don't want to give away like too many details, but the acting is just superb. Sandra Oh is one of the main characters, and I forget, oh gosh, I forget Villanelle's the assassin. I forget the name of the actress who plays her. She's a fairly new actress, but oh my gosh, I love them. It is such a good show. It is so interesting from a psychological standpoint because Villanelle is a psychopath, they say. I don't know, I think she definitely is, but sometimes you wonder when watching it. So anyways, oh my gosh, I love that show. I love Villanelle. Like, I know she's a psychopath, but like, it's because she has no filter, really. She's so relatable. Like, she'll just say things and you're like, yeah, no, I relate to that totally. And not the killing part, but like, you know, other things. Like when people are being like getting on your nerves. And she just says it without filter. So that's pretty funny to watch. What was the other one I just watched? I watched The Witcher. We will not be doing Witcher colorways. I do not think. The other bees are not fans of The Witcher. I'm the only one who watched it all the way through. SamBee and Queen Bee watched the first 2 episodes with me, and Queen Bee watched the last 2 with me as well. But they couldn't get into it. I just don't understand how people say that it's better than Game of Thrones. The writing of Game of Thrones, the show, is just phenomenal. Queen Bee said something like halfway through episode 2, and she says, if I don't start caring about a single one of these characters soon, I can't watch anymore. And it's true. It's the way that they film it and wrote the show. And they could have done it better very easily. I feel like they could have just edited the footage slightly better to make you feel more invested in the characters. But it takes a while to feel invested, and I'm like, even when I'm reading books, I'm not somebody who can handle that. Like in Game of Thrones, I felt pretty invested right off the bat. Like, you feel like you care about Ned Stark, like you care about the Starks, and you want them to succeed and everything. And I don't know, it's just, I wasn't feeling that connection with any characters in The Witcher until like maybe episode 3 or 4. And then even then, I don't know, some of the characters, it's just like, it doesn't seem consistent, like their wants and desires. I don't know. I'm kind of trailing off because I'm thinking about like certain specific scenes and trying to think if I mention them specifically, will I be giving spoilers away? I think the show really caters to the video game fans. I never played the video game, but while watching it, because I played other video games, I know, like, I recognize the format is very similar, of almost like this questing format where you go and achieve this goal, and then you find out more about the story through that way, and then you achieve this goal, and then he gets a new outfit, and then he gets another new outfit, and it was just like, okay, that's stuff that would happen in a video game, but you wouldn't actually have it play out verbally and specifically mention that in a show. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of weird, like the mentioning of new outfits. Like, I don't know. And like he's leveling up almost, instead of like, okay, Arya, where she's high and then she's low and then she's going through all this crap for like forever, and then all of a sudden like she gets a little bit more and then she loses it all again. Like, that's a little bit more realistic than Hi Queen Bee, than like video game formats. But I mean, because I play video games, it wasn't totally weird to me, but at the same time, it's just like, it's not as good as Game of Thrones, people. Just get over it. But, and everybody just walked in and started making lunch, and I'm trying to stay in the zone, and that's messing me up. But anyways, so we started watching Dracula on Netflix, the new Netflix Dracula that came out. It's a mini series. So it's 3 episodes and each is like an hour and a half long. So they're kind of just like short movies, or actually not short. 90-minute movie is a good size movie. What am I saying? And that was very interesting. Very horror. If you are okay with horror and you like horror, I definitely recommend it. If not, I would not recommend it. Let me see. It was very interesting. It's a very different take on Dracula. It has a lot of the characters in it. but it's just done very differently. And I really enjoyed it because you don't really know what to expect. Like, you have these expectations if you've read the book, and it doesn't totally follow those expectations. Like, Van Helsing is a nun, so Van Helsing is a female and a nun, so that's interesting. But I won't give any spoilers away, but I definitely recommend that because it really does keep you involved in it. What else? Oh, we finally caught up on season 4 of Outlander, and that was awesome. Okay, so season 3 of Outlander and even season 2 really lost to me. I'm not gonna lie. I really liked when they were in Scotland. Like, that's my favorite part of Outlander. Then the whole war thing, I feel like every show has wars in it now, and it's just kind of like, you know, like, I don't know, I wasn't really totally into it. I really liked Scotland and, like, the nitty-gritty of trying to stay alive in Scotland. Like, well, it's feudal, but not necessarily like a full-blown war / end of the world kind of thing like Culloden is. Leading up to Culloden is exciting. Actual Culloden is just depressing to me. So yeah, I don't know. It just kind of like loses me in season 2 because the whole like French thing, I'd prefer Scotland because you learn more about, I think, French history in school than you do Scottish, and so it's just very different and interesting. Also them being in a city opposed to like the Scottish Highlands, like it's just not as pretty and exciting. I don't know, it just doesn't speak to me as much. Then season 3, they're like sailing through the Caribbean looking for young Ian for forever, and it's just, I don't know, I wasn't into it. They weren't together, they're looking for each other again. And I like when they're together, when Claire and Jamie are together, because otherwise I feel like they're always looking for each other, and it's just gets old. Like, the first time they get separated, it's interesting. The second time you're like, oh no, not again. But then like the 25th time, it's like, can they get it together already? But season 4, they are together, and it is exciting. And I thought that I would be like, it's American history, who cares? But I also really like that Brianna's in it more. I thought that I wouldn't like her being in it as much, but her going back into the past, oh my god, that's exciting. Like, it's all just very exciting, and I cannot wait for season 5. All of us bees like binged that season 4. Well, not all of us. I think it was Queen Bee, me, and SamBee. We watched season 4, and it was so good. It was so good that I cannot wait for season 5. I thought season 5 was already out. That's how out of the loop I am. And then we get to the end of season 4, the last episode, and we're like, wait, it's airing in February? What? And that was just a horrible surprise for us. Anyways, I think that's it for fandom stuff. And just nerding out with you guys. I don't know what's next on the agenda. If you have anything good to recommend, put it in the comments, because we're always looking for new things to get involved in or to just take up the time. We're probably going to watch The Bachelor just because we always watch The Bachelor if we can. We don't have regular TV anymore. We just have subscriptions on like internet formats. Because our house doesn't have a TV antenna, and that's always how we would get our internet or our TV before. So we'll probably just watch that on Hulu. Grey's Anatomy is going to be coming back soon, and we love Grey's Anatomy, so excited for that. But yeah, okay, so on to, should I do whips first or finished objects first? Let's do finished objects first. Okay, so for our Advent knit along this year, we did the Speltas Wrap, and I used my Advent from 2018 Game of Thrones that I held back in our Coquette sock base. And look at the tassels! And so this is Speltas, and Speltas is the Latvian word for wheat, and wheat is very important in Latvia. Latvian culture is very important to us because Queen Bee is half Latvian. Her mother, my grandmother, and my great-grandmother, and my great-aunt and great-grandfather all came over from Latvia in the 40s or 50s, I think. They came to America. They basically fled World War II, but they got held up in Germany for a while. So I don't know the exact dates, but Latvian culture has always been very important to us. We even say some words in Latvian and just throw them into sentences. My grandma was fluent, but she never taught us, even though we wanted to. I mean, if you know the story of her trying to teach me crochet, that didn't really go over. Sorry, eyelash problem. Ugh, wool in my eye. That didn't go over too well either. My grandma wasn't very patient with teaching. She's a very, very talented person, but she wasn't very patient with people who were slow at learning. So crochet, she kind of taught me. Latvian, she kind of taught us, but none of us are fluent. But it's still very important to us. We do a lot of Latvian traditions and stuff like that. And so this is kind of like a tribute to my Latvian heritage. And each little block is kind of creates the effect of grains of wheat. And it has a buttonhole in the very last grain. If you can see there, it has a buttonhole. I haven't put a button on it yet, so you can wear it as an infinity scarf or as like a large wrap, but I've been just wearing it as a scarf just because I like it as a scarf. But you can see the tassels, and it kind of has a pretty good length on it. But yeah, we did a mystery knit along for this, and we just announced the winners for that a couple days ago. But yeah, so that's a new pattern on Ravelry. I have the knit along version as well as just like a finished version download on Ravelry. Another FO. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, okay. Another finished object is the Magic Cake Cowl. So this is the Magic Cake Cowl. And this pattern I have been working on for, oh my gosh, for like almost 2 years. I have been working on this, trying to perfect it and get it exactly how I wanted it. And the idea is you create a magic cake. So you wind up scraps and minis into a center pull ball, but pull from the outside. I guess you could hand ball a ball too, but you know, cake, like a cake of yarn is the name. But what I do is I magic knot the ends together, so as you're knitting you don't have to weave in ends or anything like that. And it kind of lays like a shawl. It's super cute. This one I used, well, Queen Bee actually sample knit this one. The original I gave as a gift because I had some issues, but what we did was we took about 20 different colors, I think, are in this. So each one is about 4 or 5 grams, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, but it all equals out to be about 100 grams of yarn, of fingering weight yarn. And we went from lightest color to darkest color, so it kind of does a cool like fade effect. And this is super fun, easy knit. We decided, because Joey Bee gave us all Sauber balls of yarn, which is like kind of like almost a fractal hand spun look. I'll show you in a minute because we're all working on them, but we're all working on magic cake cowls together now because we are obsessed with this pattern. It just looks so cute on. When it's off, I was jokingly saying when it's not being worn, it looks like it looks so dumb. Like, it looks so stupid. Like, it does not lay nicely, like, for photos if you are not wearing it, but you put it on and it's just magical. Like, it just works. But yeah, so holding it up for the camera, it's like, yeah, it just looks kind of silly and curly and weird, but that's that. And then I'm going to count these as an FO, even though, as you can see, these are still on my die-craft needles, my heavy metal needles, which is what I always use to knit, are my die-craft needles. All of us bees always use those, unless it's a size they don't have, which is usually only, I think, above a 10.5. But these are my gingerbread house socks. So this was our, it's not in the shop anymore because we took down all of our holiday colors, but these are our gingerbread house colorway. And see how it's brown with those cute little pops of rainbow candies. And this is a waffle sock stitch pattern. I did use a slip stitch heel flap on this, which is my favorite kind of heel. And yeah, I just need a Kitchener the toe on the second one, so it's not quite an FO, but I was going to do it before I videoed today and then I just ran out of time, so I'm counting it as an FO. But I'm super excited to wear these. Funny story, this sock is a little bit bigger than this one because my gauge changed, but there was about like a year delay in knitting the second one, maybe a little more than a year. I've discovered that I cannot wait to knit the second one anymore. I can't knit or wait to knit the second sleeve, second mitten, second sock. Don't ever do it, guys. Just knit the second one right away. In fact, I think from now on what I'm going to do is I'm going to knit the cuff down to the heel on both separately. Then I'm going to do the heel and the gusset decrease on each individually. Then I'm going to do the foot on each, and then I'm going to do the toe on each. So I'm not going to do two at a time just because, I don't know. I'm worried about having the two balls of yarn, the two strings. I already get worked up on color work. Like, it's too much for me. So I think I'm just going to have two project bags, two socks, whatever, and I'm just going to do it like that, just to avoid getting different sizes, because it's just like on this I'm just letting it go, whatever, but in the future, like, I just don't want I don't want things to be different sized. I do care about that. I am a bit of a perfectionist, I'll admit, so I don't want to deal with that anymore. But those are almost done, and then I will be wearing them. And yeah, let's see, any other FOs? I don't think I have any other FOs, except I do want to talk about, well, I've done other finished objects since the last time on podcast, but I'm not going to show all of those now because that's ridiculous. But I did want to talk about the sweater I'm wearing. So this is the Autumn League pullover, and it's on my Ravelry project page. And what I did, because it's knit in like a DK weight yarn, is I took our bubble sock in our color Peach Blossom, and I held two strands together to make it a DK, and I knit it like that. And so it's 20% silk and 80% wool. But I think that maybe it has a little bit too much drape. I think if I had knit it on smaller needles, so I'd done a pattern that was tighter knit, it wouldn't be as drapey, but I like it. It's a little bit more of a tunic. I had to do quite a few alterations. I believe I put all of that in my project notes, but yeah, like it was knit, it's supposed to be knit flat, but my gauge from knitting the yoke and the round to knitting the body flat was off. So anyways, I learned my lesson the hard way. I have 2 other sweaters on the needles, but I will show that at another time because this is already gonna be a super long video. Okay, so let's talk about WIPs. So SamBee is working on her magic cake cowl. So I'm just going to show some of these and their progress. I don't know where Baby Bee's is, so I'm just going to show you mine, Queen Bee's, and SamBee's. So Sen is doing this lovely, like, teal, red, orange, blue, black colored one. And this was the Zauber ball that she got from Joey B, Bro B, for Christmas. Like, look at how pretty that is. It kind of reminds me of our Jamie colorway, but like hand spun. So that's exciting. And she's doing this on, of course, her Diacraft needles. And let me not drop the stitches. She has these beautiful gold ones. I don't know if you can. Stop focusing on my face and focus on the needles. These beautiful gold needles. And her cute little Geisha project bag that we got from Bunny Badger. I'll put it in the description. Bunny Badger Designs, I think. They're usually at YarnCon, which is where we got this. Queen Bee has a matching bag with her project. This is from Whimzee Stitches. This is a lovely sturdy bag. I love it. And like I said, hers matches her bag. Look at that. So cute. And I don't know the names of these yarns because I don't think that the tags are in these bags, but look at how cute this is. I'm so jealous of this one. Like, just look at how it's knitting up. It is so cutesy. It just reminds me of exactly this. Like, just those cute, almost German-like storybooks that are cutely illustrated like this. And I have a bunch of books. They're right on the shelf behind me that just use all of these colors, and it just reminds me of my childhood so much. But yeah, it's super cute. I like that these are self-striping, so this is also an excellent pattern to use hand spun in because it just pulls up so beautifully. Let me get this back in the bag. Oh, and she is using her Diacraft needles in their, I think they're called Sunset colorway, but these ones are wood. Lace tips. And let's see, where's mine? Oh, okay. So for Christmas, I got this super cute bag from one of my favorite bag makers, which is Wuthering Sheep. Look at this. Look how cute this is. Ridiculous. Anyways, I love her bags. And my color is lovely. It is, now these are definitely my colors. It's very jewel tone, earth tone. I just love it. And I haven't gotten very far on it because I'm also working on a new design that's been taking kind of priority. And also I wanted to finish those socks because they've been on the needle for like 2 years, but it's like a copper, purples, greens, deep brown. It's just pretty. It's very pretty. It's gonna look great. I'm very excited. But yeah. Actually I might have the tag for my color in here because she puts a little zippered divider in her bags. Oh my gosh. They're awesome little sock bags. I have several of them. Piano Bar is the name of it. And these are the fingering weights, and they are all 150 gram balls. I think they have all of these colors in 100 gram balls too, but we have the 150. So the pattern only calls for 100 grams, like about 400 yards. Probably a little bit more like 430 to 460 maybe. But I think I'm gonna make mine a little longer just because I have the yarn to do it. And let's see. I'm not going to show you my new design yet because I want to work on it a little bit more, get it a little bit farther before I do that. This is all for WIPs I'm going to show you today because everybody's working on sweaters, but I'm not going to pull out everybody's sweater right now. You can see it on the 3B Cal story highlight on our Instagram. So, Peach, don't bump this. So if you go on our Instagram and you look at the story highlights at the top of our page, it'll be 3B Knit Along, and you can see that. I forget what the name is. I think it's the Sea Change sweater. And I'm working on a drama, and you can see that on there as well. Peach is looking outside. Yeah, what are you seeing outside? Is there any kitty cats out there? She saw a neighbor kitty cat the other day walking around outside, and she was so excited. Yeah. But here, how about you sit here? Sit by the wool. But yeah, okay. So that's all for our WIPs today, and FOs and all of that nonsense. I wanted to show you, I have a giant bucket of yarn here. Like, when I mean giant bucket, I mean like giant bucket. It isn't full because then I wouldn't be able to find all the yarn. But I want to tell you about the update we are doing this Friday. So tomorrow, probably today, because not today when I'm filming this, but today when you get the notification for this video, because I will not get this up until probably Friday morning. But we are doing a look at these. We're doing a Little Women update because the new movie's coming out, and Queen Bee and I are big Little Women fans. I don't know if SamBee and Baby Bee have ever really read the books. Actually, I haven't ever really talked to them about it. We've seen the 90s version of the movie. We own that, and we've seen it like a bunch of times. But these colors are a little bit more based off of what we've seen them wearing in the new movie. I'm super excited for this. So this is Amy, and this is a soft blue with these beautiful speckles. And we have Coquette Sock here, and this one here is Squishy Sock. And you can see they take the speckles a little differently. But we are going to be actually only doing these as sock sets, and then the set of 4 sisters, and then the set of 4 sisters and their I don't know, like their traits skein. So we did their, hold on, bear with me a second while I pull all these out. So we did, and Peach just curled up back there as I pull out yarn and bury her in it. Okay. Oh, Dutchie, what? What the heck? Let me just cover you in this yarn. I mean, it's called Caught in the Wool for a reason. This is why, because Peach loves getting caught in a wool. Look, she loves it. Dutchie, you like the yarn? You like it? You like it, cute baby? She's like, why are you doing this to me? Are these all of them? Okay. Yes. No. Forgot one. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what all of these are in a moment. So I don't have the minis wound up for the sock sets in Squishy Sock, but we're gonna have sock sets in Squishy Sock and Coquette Sock. So right now I'm just gonna show you the Coquette Sock. So this is Amy, and I'm gonna have to check on my phone for all of the names of the minis because I forgot. We just came up with them. Amy and Graceful. So this one here is Graceful. And so that's her heel and toe. Very pretty, very feminine. This one's my favorite one. Then we have, then we have Meg, which is a mauvey pink. I'm trying to get it to focus. And Faithful, which is her heel and toe, which is a nice little pop of color. This is a little bit more of a soft magenta-y pink. So very pretty, very sweet. We have Beth, which is also very girly. Look at those like reds and pink, kind of magenta-y, all on a soft pink background. And she has this more coral heel and toe. And you can see that coral's a little bit in those speckles as well. And hers is called Thoughtful. So Beth and Thoughtful. They're super cute. And Queen Bee did all of these in a soft speckle color because we just wanted something feminine, graceful, soft, pretty, you know, for them, because it just kind of suits them. And last but not least, we have Joe. And Joe might be kind of hard to tell on her color, but the base color isn't white. It's almost like a creamy peach. And she has blue speckles, a little bit of a red and pink and yellow speckle. Kind of more tomboy. Pretty, but tomboy. And hers is Willful. And just a little bit of green. Which I think will be cute. Because it's a nice contrast. It's very different. So, we will be having all of those sock sets in our Squishy Sock and Coquette Sock bases. And we will have the collection of all four sisters together in full skeins, as well as the full skeins of each of the four sisters and their traits in full skeins. So that would be an 8 skein set, which looks so beautiful. Let me just grab them all together real quick. Okay. Like, this isn't all. I have 2 more. Hold on. But all together, they're just so beautiful. Like, you could do the most beautiful find your fade with this. Like, just the most beautiful find your fade, I think. Okay. What am I doing? But yeah. I'm very excited about them. I'm also going to be doing, I think, a little pin to go with, like just a little tiny 1-inch badge to put on your project bag with a little quote. I'm still working on designing those, but if I do end up doing it, it'll be in the listing. But yeah, I'm super excited about these because they're just so pretty and spring-like and just like what you need during this time of year. Other things in the shop right now is all Outlander dyed to order, even colors that will not be coming to the show season. So I think I'm going to do an update and put online only in those so people don't expect to see all of them at our shows this year because we are retiring some of them for a while we do some new colors, because we haven't done new Outlander colors since 2018, 2019 maybe. Yeah, we haven't done any real new colors for Outlander just because we didn't have time to rewatch the shows, and we didn't feel super inspired by the season 3. So I'm excited for season 4 colors. Super excited for that. But yeah, so that's about it. I hope you enjoyed watching. I'm sorry this was kind of all over the place and kind of rambly and different stuff, but thank you again for watching. Hopefully I'll be back in another like week or 2 weeks, probably 2 or 3 weeks, because I don't want to do podcasts weekly necessarily anymore. I was doing that for a while, but there wasn't always stuff to talk about. So I'm just gonna do it when I have stuff to talk about, or actually finish a project and show you guys. But Peach is passed out, so it's time to go. Thank you guys, and I hope you had fun getting caught in the wool. Bye!